So guys, it's finally time for me to talk about the leaks from Mr. J in Gotham. I've been putting off this for quite a while, but now it's finally time to give my opinion on it and break it down. How's it going, Gothamites? Welcome to a brand new Gotham Season 5 video. Now, finally, I am here to talk about those J leaks. Now, if you're wondering and you haven't seen my past couple of videos where I addressed it at certain points in the video, I said I didn't want to contribute to those leaks. I guess for some reason I thought that it would kind of help minimize it, but, you know, obviously it's going to still circulate around the internet. But I just didn't want to contribute to it with a massive influx of negative comments straight away from my YouTube channel, because, you know, I've obviously got a Gotham audience of some degree, and I just, you know, you get the picture. But now, since the storm has come and the dust has settled, I feel like I want to try and talk about it. A lot of you guys have also persuaded me to do that. You were like, you know, maybe your opinion can, you know, sway some other people's opinions. Not that I expect to change people's opinions entirely, but, you know, from my perspective, maybe those who really don't like it might be a bit more understanding to it, because there are some people who are just flaming it, saying F this, F that, look what the F has Gotham done, this, that, and the other. And, you know, I'm not saying I absolutely love this look, but I dig it. But before we get into all of that, guys, I do want to let you know that I've now opened my international Teespring store. So beforehand, I had like a US store and an EU store. You still could have ordered anywhere, but now they've made all the products a lot easier to fulfill internationally. So I wiped all of the previous ones and I've got brand new stuff in. I'm really happy with this. I really like the logo, that Magpie. Definitely check Magpie out, by the way. She's got an awesome comic. Definitely check it out in the links but down below. She did amazing artwork for me, so I've slapped that on hoodies, t-shirts, you name it. And for the longest time, if you've been around on this channel for quite a while, you know that Boba Fuel has been quite a meme. So I've replaced BobaTalks with the fuel bit there and slapped that on the mug. Anyway, check it out, guys. I'd really appreciate it if you did. It really does help support the channel, and thanks to everyone else who's already got that first run of merch that I did in the past several months or whatever. But now it's time for the second wave. As always, it should be displayed under this video, but other than that, it's literally just teespring.com/stores/Boba merch. I almost forgot for a second there, but it's pretty easy to remember. Boba merch. Now, before I go in this video, I normally don't say stuff like this in my reviews and everything like that, because I think it's very self-explanatory that it's spoilers if you're watching a review. And with this, guys, it should be very self-explanatory that you're going to be seeing pictures that have been leaked. End of. Like, so, and by the way, I just noticed as well that there's also a couple of other pictures from the finale that was on this leak section of Lily Simmons as Catwoman, but they're not mega spoilery. But yeah, we're mainly looking at the Joker pictures. So do not go on with this video if you do not want to be spoiled, but I'd be very surprised after how this circulated on the internet if you haven't been spoiled already. So honestly, don't know where to really start with this. I will get the pictures up in a second, but as you guys know, I guess, you know, the chronology of the timeline, I think it was like a couple of weeks back, these photos just appeared on Reddit, and, you know, the first one was blurry, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and as I said, I'll get them up, and then progressively, bit after bit, a few more dropped. Some people, you know, were reassured by this, but I guess I would start off right from the beginning. People were going crazy at Jeremiah's new look. Now, I do want to say, I do understand. I do understand from a perspective of that Gotham have, you know, no matter what, if you prefer Jerome or Jeremiah, the aesthetic or like the design of Jeremiah, especially that look in the latest episode before he falls in the chemical vat, and I slapped this perfect image. I feel like such a good image of Cameron Monaghan as Jeremiah Valeska in my thumbnail for my S Chemicals review. A lot of people have fallen in love with that kind of, you know, how can I put it, attractive, you know, Cameron Monaghan's a good looking guy, you know, a chiseled Joker look, no ugliness to him really, because, you know, and that's not unusual in the comics. Sometimes he is like that, but for the most part, I think people have become infatuated with that look, so anything more gruesome and actually more common in the comics, I think, slapped people around the head and just knocked them for 6. And yes, if you couldn't tell, this is probably going to be quite a long video. You know how I do, I blab and get into things. But I do want to really iron the creases out of this and give you guys my full, you know, wholehearted opinion on this matter. Now, I think when I saw these photos release, I was actually surprised by how negative everybody was. Sure, there was people like me saying, yeah, I don't mind it, you know, I would have preferred maybe if I had hair, blah, blah, blah. I'll get onto that in a second, but I don't really know what people were expecting. I voiced my opinion before, and you know, this isn't the video for that necessarily, but Gotham have gone their own unique route of creating the Joker, obviously, and it could have gone differently, I'm guessing, in the sense of, I guess if they had a few more seasons, they wouldn't have maybe, you know, done it the way they have done, because there's the whole argument of why did they bother with the cosmetic effects of the gas if Jeremiah was just going to fall in the pit anyway. And you know, if it was up to me, I maybe wouldn't have done that. And you know, so you know, early on in this season or before season 5 aired, people like me were saying, oh man, but what's the point in Jeremiah falling in the pit other than to just actually rebirth him? Maybe no memory, stuff like that. Maybe that's still the case. Who knows? But you know, I think it would have been really, really wicked if they would have just left those cosmetic effects until the chemical vat. So I get that. So my first thought when reading all of the negativity surrounding it, and you know, people are perfectly allowed to have their own opinion and not like this picture. I'm not saying they're not allowed to, but I'm just wondering what people expected. Are you one of those people of when you thought that he would fall in the chemical vat, he would come out looking the same? Because I never thought that. He already looks like a Joker, quite a charismatically chiseled-chinned, not ugly looking Joker already. So when he fell into the pit, I thought, well, he would have to look different somehow, right? But now, as you can see on Reddit, because there is this mega leaks thread, and this is where I'm looking at the images, you can see that is not the case. I think the biggest case, and I'll talk about what I think they should have done differently in a second, is that he is bald. Now, you know, the thing is, I respect that. Well, not so obviously. Some people actually might like this a lot. But personally, I would have kept the hair. I don't mind the fact that they've taken it off. I do understand. In Gotham's universe, it doesn't have to be super traditionalist. And I think, you know, it's time for a lot of people to stop referring to the Killing Joke as the definitive origin. Contrary to common belief, I guess, that's not, like, there is no definitive origin. That's just the one that most comic book fans think, oh yeah, you know, if there is an origin, that would be it for me. But it's not supremely canon or anything like that. So iterations of the Joker's birth, like this one that Gotham has done, is perfectly valid. It's not a case of that is not the way it should have been. Blah, 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 blah. Like, they're perfectly within their rights to, like, morph this character's origin. Let me get that out of the way. But here we are on this Mega Leaks thread, and now, as you can see, these images aren't the highest quality. You know, we've got Echo there. This isn't for this video. We got Lily Simmons playing Catwoman there, and then we've got different angles of Jeremiah. I believe the first one that dropped was that one where, like, you know, the camera's kind of looking down at Jeremiah. And, you know, as I said, the first reaction was the hair. And it does, I have to say, it does remind me of Gollum. You know, like from Lord of the Rings, quite literally the wispy kind of hair. And, you know, I've seen comments left, right, and center, whether it's my Discord server, join the Discord server, by the way, saying, oh, you know, the hair will grow back by the 10-year time jump. This is in the 10-year time jump, guys. For example, Jeremiah's hair, when he fell in the pit, was short, right? So the fact that his hair is this long would infer that his hair has grown for 10 years, but only in little dotted amounts. Like, it's not going to grow back. Fair enough, if you want to imagine in Gotham's, like, universe, which will never be put on TV after this season, that he might wear a wig, or this guy just might go around wearing a hat. That's cool. Like, you might think he might look cooler with a hat. But no, that is his hair. That is quite literally his hair, unfortunately. Why is that the case, Boba? Why doesn't he have hair? Well, as you can tell from this makeup, Gotham's Ace Chemicals have disfigured him in the sense of that it's blatantly, like, burnt his skin, or, like, you know, it has bleached it more white. You could argue these are still the cosmetic effects from beforehand, but it has, you know, it has really melted his skin, like, you know, chemicals kind of usually potentially do. Well, let me put it this way. Those Ace Chemicals did not look like chemicals that would not melt your skin or, like, burn them, or whatever you want to put it on the table, whatever word you want to use. But there are 2 more photos, I believe, that came out after this. So if you scroll down, then there's new leaks. So it says Joker High Res here. And yeah, we got a much better look at Cameron Monaghan here in the J makeup. Now, I think this reassured some fans. Now, what do I think of it? And I know there's going to be those comments saying skip to 12 minutes or whatever time marker this is, because, you know, this is an overall breakdown. Like, it's not just me talking about the photo, it's me trying to explain everything in the way I view it. I dig the look. I really, really do. One thing I would say is that the makeup, I think, could have been done a little bit better. For example, I don't think that Cameron Monaghan needed that prosthetic chin. He's definitely got one there. And it seems that his forehead is popped out a bit more there. The hair for me, I don't mind it. Obviously, I would prefer hair. But at the end of the day, like, this is a different universe in the sense that, well, I guess it is, but, like, you know, they don't have to do it the way you think they have to do it. He is essentially Joker there, and they have put that on Twitter, like Cameron Monaghan, way before these leaks came out, saying Jay's final look is nightmare fuel. So if you really look back at the timeline of how things have been described and teased for Jay's final look, Jeremiah Valeska isn't nightmare fuel. If anything, a lot of people how do I say this? Don't find him repulsive. If anything, it's the complete opposite. Now, the Joker, is he meant to be depicted that way? I would argue not really. Like, he can be, but I've just got a couple of examples from my shelf there with the comic books on it. Does this guy look like an attractive person to you? Like, if you birthed him into real life, you know, he isn't. I'm not saying this is the exact same look, but I'm just saying, really think for a second. Look, he's got warts, he's got a flaking skin all over his face. It's not a attractive look. It's horrific, it's nightmare fuelish, and that is what I believe Gotham went for. And they are really kind of more comic book accurate there than what I would say they did with Jeremiah in a sense. And you might be like, babe, what do you want about? But no, really, like, go out and look up the Joker and look at all. I would say you would find 8 out of 10 examples aren't the Jeremiah Valeska kind of like really clean, jokery, poshy kind of formal look, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that's not valid. I really like that look as well, but this is what they evidently wanted to strive towards with the final Jay look. Now, is Jay the Joker? 110,000% yes. Now, the showrunners, this is a difficult subject because it's like, I don't want to like speak badly like about the showrunners, but you know, there's a lot of memes going around on the interwebs like, oh, is Jeremiah the Joker? Well, yes, but technically no. Like, that's kind of the way I think they have to say it. Like, they haven't got the rights to that character, or like that character is embargoed or is not available, but they're gonna spell it in your face that Jay is the Joker, but they're not gonna call him the Joker in the finale. Like, this guy is Batman's Joker. Now, for the most part, bottom line, I don't mind this look. In fact, I dig it. I've said that already, but I would have done things differently. The hair isn't the biggest deal for me, but as I said, I think the issue with that for most people is that it's such a contrast from what Jeremiah looked like before. As I said, for me, in my imagination, I can imagine that one day he just continuously wears a hat, or like he wears wigs. It's not the end of the world, and even so, it's like, even if he doesn't do that, it's not like it matters because it's not going to be shown on screen. But either way, I respect the look. I just think that the makeup could have been done differently. No disrespect to the makeup artist. I've actually got something on my phone here as to why this could have been approached differently. I'm sure the concepts and the designs would have kind of been the same if it would have been the same makeup artist, but I guess I should rewind a second there. So in season 5, we don't have the same makeup artist. Mike Maddy's makeup has been doing the makeup for quite a lot of the Gotham characters, including Jerome, for the past few seasons. I can't confirm if he's been there since season 1, but like, just assume he has been doing basically everything for it. So he posted this on Instagram saying, Davi Mazouz's face cut off in season 4, and he said this: after seeing all the comments about season 5 on the internet, I'd like to make it clear I did not go back to Gotham for season 5 and have nothing to do with the makeup from season 5. I only post my work. So essentially, I think maybe it's quite different, and some people are criticizing the makeup for it to be not that great looking, and it could have been different if it was Mike. Maybe he wouldn't have used a prosthetic chin, maybe there wouldn't have been all the other prosthetics, but then again, I don't think you can fully blame it on that, because maybe Mike would have had to have used that. Maybe, the people who were calling the shots on Gotham would have been like, look, we still want his chin to be really extended, blah, 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 but maybe Mike would have done a better job of it. I don't know. I just wanted to add that onto the table. It's interesting as well, this photo really does look like it's posted in a makeup chair. That looks like you know, Cameron sat in the makeup chair and they're doing like a makeup test photo or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. But, you know, it does kind of remind me, if you've seen the Flash, of when Barry had that burnt pizza face kind of look. It's kind of like that. And I think this is where it leads me to say what I would have done differently. So I don't think Cameron Monaghan needs all of these prosthetics. I think, okay, completely change him up from the Jeremiah Valeska look that we had in Ace Chemicals because he fell into the pit, disfigure him. But it wasn't necessary to put so much makeup on him that I think he will kind of struggle with his facial expressions in that final episode. Because Cameron Monaghan has already got those he's like lucky to have those facial attributes for the Joker. He's got the perfect cheekbones and smile and muscles for that. You know, he's got a chiseled chin. When they did like the makeup and penciled in the eyebrows, it really complemented his like facial angular features. So adding all of this wasn't necessary. So you could have still added the makeup in terms of like making him look like he's been a bit burnt and you know, eyeshadowy look around the eyes and stuff like that. You could have even not had the hair. But I would have relied more on his facial structure rather than coating him in with all of this stuff. I think that would have been maybe better, but I do get the approach because, you know, he is maybe looking even more angular, especially side on in this photo. As a Joker, as I said, the Joker has always got such angular. I could get 1,000 more things off my shelf, but you get my point. I think they wanted to really exaggerate that. I think what the Gotham designers or whoever like approved this as the final design were going for the Arkham Asylum, a serious house on Serious Earth comic book look. Now in this comic, the Joker is goddamn creepy. The whole artwork is so unique. Even Batman looks really menacing and creepy. This whole design is like over exaggerated to look nightmare fuel, right? And I really feel like here you can see how he has such an extended chin, like how everything is so much more crooked and overgrown and exacerbated in the Joker's look. And I feel like translated over to Gotham, that's why they added the prosthetic chin and like the overarching like freaking forehead and stuff like that. You know, hopefully this gives you a bit more context as to how like the Joker does and has looked extremely unattractive and stuff like that before and really creepy. And I guess this is what I would best compare it to out of anything. Another thing that I'm absolutely delighted with this look is the Joker kind of coat he's got there. Like the purpley-esque kind of coat, like he's got a purple shirt underneath, I believe. The green in his tie. This is obviously been demonstrated through many things in the comic book as a Joker, and this is probably the most Joker they've gone with, you know, well, even though Jay is the Joker, but on Gotham ever before. I think they have absolutely nailed the look there, and I can't wait to see what that actually looks like with the sheen of the screen, as I like to say. Another thing I think I want to end this on though, guys, is just I think the biggest shame of all with these leaked pictures, and the reason why I didn't want to contribute to it at the beginning, is because a lot of people, you know, obviously see it, hate it, think, oh my god, that looks so different from Jeremiah Valeska, who I love that look, and who the F is this bald looking ass guy, and blah, 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 blah. I think it's just a shame that this didn't get revealed in the final episode because, you know, regardless of if you honestly and truly don't like that completely, in your own opinion, I think maybe it would have rubbed off better for those people seeing it on screen with Cameron's performance for the first time. Sure, you may have been like, oh my god, what have they done? Like, what have they done? But then mixed in with seeing his acting, the way he, you know, carries himself as Jay in this new iteration and what that will be like and everything like that. I mean, he's practically got to be the proto Joker before they actually call him the Joker in that, you know, 10-year time jump universe. That might have sold people. They might have been like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't like that. But now, you know, like maybe like the way he is acting and everything like that is you know, I kind of dig it actually. So I think that's a huge shame as well, because without that influence of Cameron's performance, I think all you can really do, like 9 out of 10 times, even if you're a really nice person, is think, oh god, that's not the way I envisioned it, and I don't like it, and this, you know, they've ruined that character. So I really try and implore you to maybe think that, oh man, his performance might really help the look, and maybe even the way he acts potentially will be really like a lethal combination with the aesthetic kind of design look they've given him in such a creepy way. But, you know, at the same time, if you still don't like it, no matter what, you know, fair enough. It's just not the Joker you would have gone for. Maybe you would have gone for what I kind of described. Maybe still some hair, maybe not, but maybe less makeup, but still burns, relying more on actual Cameron Monaghan's facial looks. But other than that, guys, I think that's it. This has been a freaking long video, but I love, to talk about this stuff, obviously, and, you know, I haven't spoke about it in the beginning, and I've been thinking stuff this whole time. I just really had to blurt it all out, all in one big rambly video, and I'm sure quite a lot of you actually maybe even listened to this point, because I don't know, it's just such an interesting thing to talk about. And, you know, it's such a shame that it got leaked, because it's such, even though this show is a Batman prequel, most people are anticipating that this character's big reveal as the Joker finally, or at least Jay in the time jump, more than the Batman himself. So, you know, I do get it. I do get the extremely delicate situation this is. I don't know, guys, that was my 2 cents. So, you know, bottom line is that I dig the look. I'm still excited for his performance. I see what Gotham was going for. Would have been interesting to see Mike's version of the makeup. Blah, 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 blah. I think combined with Cameron's performance, it's going to win a lot more people over who were really initially like, you know, devastated maybe by the look. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we have to respect everyone's opinions. You know, all opinions are welcome. Down in the comment section below, let's have a really healthy discussion about this. No attacking the others for like, oh, screw you for liking his look. Right, how could you like his bald head? Blah, blah, blah. Don't be like that. Like, everyone can prefer what they want. Everything is subjective. So, whatever. But I just hope what I had to say about it maybe gave you a bit more hope and faith for the time jump episode for when we will see Jay again. But, you know, I do get it. I do get why they went for this look. And, you know, whatever. I keep going on about this. So, anyway, guys, that is the video. Please like it if you did enjoy it. I'm sorry it took so long to get out, but I feel like I've already explained that. Didn't want to... I don't know, if I cared about getting it out and for views and stuff like that, it would have been up the next day. I think you guys can understand that. I really appreciate all the support. That my Ace Chemicals review, I think, is my most liked Gotham review ever. It's got like over 2K freaking likes on it, which is amazing. But as I said at the beginning, guys, I'd really appreciate, it would mean a lot to me if you checked out the Boba merch store on Teespring and maybe grab yourself some of that to help rep the channel. If you do, definitely let me know on Twitter or down in the comments or something like that. Join my Discord server. It is in the links down below, and there should be a graphic popping up on screen. I did remove the sound effect because people were getting pretty triggered by that Discord notification sound, thinking their Discord was getting pinged. And everything else, Instagram-wise, is down there. Patreon is down there. And I love you all. So that's it, Gothamites, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be a Gotham review. Maybe, is it? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But other than that, bye.